Today on Banter Wars, we welcome back the champion. An ordinary robot graces our arena once again, looking to book its place in the Banter Wars for the Banter Grand Final. And this is the last place open. So, this is the last chance for any of our competitors to make history and crown themselves as victors in Banter Wars. Let's go meet those competitors.
The greatest robot in Banter Wars history returns, an ordinary robot, Blimey 4. It's still got that front hinge flipper. It's got the little axes that come out at the sides. Created by Satan himself. This is the most successful robot in Banter Wars history. Expect it to do well. Up against such a mighty foe is the Wizard of Banter. A Series 1 Grand Finalist, he returns with possibly the largest robot in Banter Wars this year. It does have the power of banter, but apart from that, it doesn't really have much else. Will the power of banter be enough to see this particular competitor through to the Banter Wars Series 4 Grand Final? Next up, the Pine Peril. Billy Bob Jim's robot, yes, the hillbillies are back. It does cut solid wood. The only problem is most robots are made of metal. Will it be able to cut through them just as effectively? Either way, that disc is massive and will cause problems for anybody who gets in its way. So Wallington Bollington, with his moustache, couldn't resist making a robot of his own likeness. This is Bottington, and it has the spinning moustache weaponry. Awesome bit of kit. Expect it to do damage. Some really damaging robots in this heat. This one could do well. A monstrosity approaches. This is Silly Billy. The silly robot in Series 1 got to the Heap final and actually surprised a few people. I'm not sure that this one's going to do quite as well, but I could be surprised. We don't really know what its strength is, nor its weakness. It's just a thing in the arena, I guess. It kind of gets the bricks. And the last robot in Banter Wars for the banter, once it eventually gets onto the screen, is My Gun. This is Billy Bob Joe's machine. It's his own rifle that he's attached wheels onto. That's it. It's got a bayonet on it though. That could prove useful. It gets to the bricks eventually, and there we go. That's what it does.
Now before we get into the nitty gritty of the fight, we're going to go through a few challenges for our competitors, just to weed out the rubbish. No use wasting our time watching crippled bots fighting with no wheels, no weapons, and no hope. No, we're going to put them through the gauntlet first. A challenge so devilish that it makes even those powerful robots cower in fear. They will have to go through the maze, navigating their way through obstacles and hazards, and get to the end. Not many robots have made it in the past, unfortunately. Let's see if this lot can do it.
The returning champion, an ordinary robot, Blimey 4. Expected to do well here today, and the gauntlet shouldn't be too much of a problem. Which way is it going to go? The bricks of never-ending nightmares. Again, a popular choice. Gets through the bricks, no problem at all. Now, can it get up this ramp? Most definitely yes. Almost topples over the other side, but it's through this part of the course. Down to the maze of the abyss. Taking it slowly, ponderously, almost fell in. But gets past that first particular obstacle. Gets an electric jolt for its troubles. Oof. Again, almost falls in, but just manages to escape. Very agile, very reactive. A brilliant machine. Oh, just escapes it again. Lucky so far. Now goes up the ramp. Crashes against the wall and collapses off the ramp. We're running out of time now. It's not going to make it to the end. That's disappointing. I think it's done more than enough though. Got through the bricks and never-ending nightmares, no problem. Got up the ramp, just about over the maze of the abyss, and somehow came off the side of the ramp. So an ordinary robot blimey can't finish the course. It does make 49 metres though, and if history tells us anything, that will be more than enough. Unless there are some pretty spectacular performances in this particular round of the gauntlet. Next up, the Wizard of Banter. So there is the Wizard of Banter. Large robot. Larger than he's ever entered before. Can it actually fit through this little corridor? Which way is it going to go? I thought it was going to go for the bricks there, but it seems to be now going for the box of bollocks. And it's struggling to get past the first wall. Struggling, very slow. But it is just about small enough to fit through. Can it move the box of bollocks? It is not going well. It's not going well at all. What are you going to do here, Wizard of Banter? Banter is not going to move that box. This is poor. And it's got to be worrying for the Wizard of Banter. Got to get past this box. There's no alternative now. We're running out of time. He's getting nowhere. This will be a 12-metre run, and that is very, very dangerous. Plenty more robots to come, though. Too big, really. Too slow. No active weaponry. It wasn't going to get very far in the gauntlet, and probably in any part of the contest, really. I'd struggle to see it getting through the trials if it gets that far. "12 metres. That means that an ordinary robot blimey is through to the next round. Not that great of a surprise. Next up into the arena is Bottington. A bit smaller and a bit faster than the Wizard of Banter. I think it could do well. And there it is, a very impressive Tash. Very well groomed and very deadly. Off we go, Bottington. Which route are you going to take? The bricks of never-ending nightmares. They've proved a nightmare for some competitors. Doesn't seem to be proving so for Bottington. Let's get caught on a few bricks. But for the most part, it's gotten them out of the way. There we go. Use the moustache. Swirly derby. It's already beaten the Wizard of Banter, so it's safe. Can it get through the maze of the abyss? Again, taking it slow. We've had a few competitors take it at fast pace. They actually tend to do all right. Slow and sluggish doesn't seem to be the best option all the time. Nevertheless, that's the tactic that Sir Wallington Bollington has employed here. Close to the end now. We're running out of time. It's through the maze of the abyss. Towards the ramp, stuck at the wall. I don't think it's going to make it to the very end. No. And will now probably be hit by the banter balls. There it goes. Through the bricks, over the ramp, over the maze of the abyss, safely through to the next round. That means that the Wizard of Banter is in trouble. Possibility of going out here unless one of the three next competitors fails to beat 12 metres. Pine Peril is next into the arena. That is one mighty disc. Vertical spinning blade designed to cut down maple trees. And pines, hence the name. It's going to go for the bricks of never-ending nightmares. Crashes through them. Takes a few with it. Now that's usually a problem for these robots. He's struggling to get past the second wall now. Eventually bashes most of them aside. Can it ascend the ramp? Yes, it does so. Mightily so. Over the ramp, a bit clumsy. It gets to the end of that. I think it's going to beat the Wizard of Banter. It's pretty much done that at this point. The Maze of the Abyss could be a challenge though. This thing is mightily tall, I hasten to say. Gets an electrical jolt. Bounces around wildly. Almost falls into the abyss. That would have been a poor choice. Running out of time now. It's quite a slow run. Now another jolt. And it's going to crash out here at the Maze of the Abyss. But it's done enough. Slow, steady. Hasn't won the particular race, but it's done very, very well. Time Peril will go through. Four competitors down. Nobody's completed the gauntlet out of this lot so far. Can Silly Billy change things? It's got to make 12 metres to progress to the next round. It's a bizarre looking robot. Is it trying to be a helicopter? Is it trying to be a wad of chewing gum left under somebody's table? I think that's more accurate description. Can it move is the big question. It can move, but can it turn? Just about. It's going to go for the bricks. Can it make the bricks? This isn't going well. The entire wall comes down. Thanks to the helicopter blades, the static helicopter blades. If it's trying to fly, it's not going to do very well with that. You see the little axe coming down at the side? Trying to axe its way through the bricks. We're running out of time. It's getting nowhere. This is embarrassing. Very embarrassing. It's not even made the second wall. Have we seen any robots do that? Get through the first wall and not make it to the second at least. At least we're getting something new this time around. That means that the Wizard of Banter is safe. Silly Billy makes an almighty 3-metre plunge into the gauntlet, which means my gun, Billy Bob Joe's machine, has got to beat 3 metres. I think it can do that, despite its sluggishness. It's a rifle. Useful in some situations. Not quite so sure if it's useful in the gauntlet, but we'll see. The slowest robot in this year's Banter Wars, not only for actual driving but turning as well, as we can witness. It's moving at snail's pace, less than. That little, when it fires like that, it does actually spring itself forward somewhat. It's already done better than Silly Billy, which means it's progressed, so we'll be seeing this robot again, unfortunately. Oh dear, look at this. Look at the state of this thing. Is it going to get through the box of bollocks? Last ever entrant into the gauntlet, and it's embarrassing everybody. It can't move the box of bollocks. It's going to get stopped. It's going to get a 12-metre score. Running out of time. But it's safe, and so is the Wizard of Banter. Silly Billy will be dropping out at this early stage, and good riddance as far as I'm concerned. What a waste of an entry. At least it wasn't the worst. Anyway, my gun has a poor gauntlet performance, but it does go through nonetheless. Not a single gauntlet winner in this one, but an ordinary robot is top of the table. Wizard of Banter and my gun with poor performances, but they're shielded from defeat by the poor performance of Silly Billy. He joins the Vice President.
So I'm joined by the Silly Doctor, whose robot had a pretty poor show today. How do you feel about your performance?
Silly.
Okay. There's your answer. Silly.
All of our trials so far have been fun, little games, little playthings, soccer, king of the hill, things like that. Nothing too evil. But for this particular episode, we've decided to visit Satan in his humble abode down in the centre of the earth, hell itself. And he's promised to release 2 of his most evil creations for our robots to fight against. This trial is the Hands of Hell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Dark Lord Satan, and this is my pit of nightmares. The hands of hell shall smash you to pieces. My gun doesn't stand a chance. Too slow. My minions shall rip you to shreds. You may have bullets, but I have the power of Beelzebub and anime on my side. Go, my minions, rip it to shreds. My arena floats on the pit of doomed souls, previous losers of Banter Wars. All those worthless competitors who didn't even make it through the gauntlet to make up my stage in the depths of hell. And my minions, they grapple with their touchy fingers like mini Jimmy Saviles. My gun, a pathetic performance, being counted out. You're nothing, you're worthless, you'll join me in the pits of hell for eternity. Go, my minions, set forth and rip the barrel from the holster. Tear it asunder and launch it into oblivion. You can count it out, my gun. Do you think you'll progress? Ha! Laughable suggestion. You'll go down.
Well, briefly back from the pits of hell, my gun lasted a total of 88 seconds against the hands of hell, Satan's own awful minions. Next into the arena will be the Pine Peril. Send him down.
Pine Peril, more like rubbish competitor. Go, my minions! Show him the true meaning of peril. That spinning blade is nothing compared to my bold creations. Let the fire swallow you whole. My minions are made of the souls of the damned, the losers of Banter Wars Series 3. No, Pine Peril, do not damage my creations. You think you can get away with that? I'll have a word with the big man himself. Tear you to pieces, rip your wheels like a cool child rips off the legs of the daddy long legs in the locker rooms at school. Hands off my hands. No, my minion, get up. Don't be on your back, you worthless piece of tripe. This is rubbish. What did I hire you for? Go, my second hand, my right hand man. You shan't show as much mercy as the other one. You've lost fingers. What are you doing? Show this pine periling bollocking botherer. What for? No, don't be annihilated. I shall have my vengeance upon your Billy Bob Jim and your pine peril machine. You think you can get away with this? I'm Satan. I always have the last laugh.
Well, who would have seen that coming? The massive spinning disc of the Pine Peril annihilates the hands of hell after 82 seconds, topping the table. Next up, though, is Satan's own creation, an ordinary robot, Blimey 4.
Well, would you look at this? My own creation, commissioned by the Prime Minister, and ordinary robot Blimey 4 graces my ring. And it shall be superior, the greatest robot that I ever created. Yes, show my minions who's truly the most powerful of my creations. You know, my creations are always the most banterful. Hence why it's the most successful robot in Banter Wars history. Begone! Hand of hell down into the pit. You thought you could be loyal and be spared from mercy. No, I never show mercy, not even to my most loyal minions. In ordinary robot Blimey form, my most awesome creation shall be victorious and shall get to the grand final. Go, my beast of burden, throw it asunder. Hands of hell, you've let me down one too many times. Use those mini axes of perturbance to rip its underside into little bitty pieces. Those spikes have never been spikier, the flipper never flippier, and the axes never more annoying. An ordinary robot, the title is coming your way. You are victorious, you are the greatest, and you have destroyed both my minions. Victory! That was a proper wrestling move, did you see that one? Oh, great, it is the best robot ever created. I know it was me that did it. Humble little me, Satan.
Well, Satan obviously approves of his own creation. Nevertheless, it didn't make first place. It actually took 105 seconds to destroy the Hands of Hell. Next up into the arena is the Wizard of Banter.
Wizard of Banter? More like Wizard of Cranter. Your powers are weak. Come, join me on the dark side. Go, minions. Tickle it. Tickle its roots until it dies. And I torture him. Yes, the Wizard of Banter, I've always wanted to torture him. I've wanted to pull on his hair and his beard and tell him that his powers of banter are worthless. The fool! The desperate fool! He thinks he can defeat me with the power of banter. The power of banter can't even open a Mars bar, let alone destroy my evil minions that I just pulled out of the pit from when the unordinary robot beat them. They can beat you, Wizard of Banter, and your pathetic weaponry. I mean, what even is it? All you do is spin around and nothing happens. That's it, you don't do anything. I'm surprised you made it through the fucking gauntlet, actually. Yeah, I said it. Gauntlet, yeah. Bring back the evil memories, does it, Wizard of Banter? You are weak. Weak. Go, my Hands of Hell. Irritate him to the point of surrender. You're doing just that. Do more damage though, do more. I'm expecting more damage, Hands of Hell. Why are you letting him live? Come on. It's supposed to be my loyal minions of Beast and Burden. Destroy him. No, don't run out of time. How can we let the Wizard of Banter progress to the next round? No! No! I am very sad now. I don't want the Wizard of Banter to progress. Oh! The Hands of Hell have let me down. I wanted this one gone. I don't like it, Wizard of Banter. Fine. Next round.
Wizard of Banter survives the Hands of Hell, survives the whole full 120 seconds. It's looking bad for my gun, because Bottington, probably a bit sturdier, the Mygon. I think it should do well. Let's have a look and see.
So Wallington Bollington, we've had a fair few deals in the past, but now the time for friendliness is over. Unleash the hands of hell. No, not the moustache of hell. No, don't defeat my minions. Don't, yeah, that's right, you're upside down. Get him, minions. That moustache is the most hellish moustache I've ever seen. I'm scared. Look at it spin. It truly is the most marvellous of facial hair. I made it, you know. I gave it to him. Yeah, that's it. I made it. He can't take the credit. I made it. Rip it off, hands of hell. Pull him aside. Pull the hairs until they rip off of his ugly little face. And take his monocle too. And his hat. Leave him with nothing but indignity. No, don't batter them. This isn't going well. There are fingers falling off. Pottington is providing some real damage and destruction here to my hands of hell. I can't allow it. I can't. I cannot allow it. I cannot do it. I'm telling you to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper. Sorry, Arnold Schwarzenegger is with me here. Screw your freedom. He's one of my minions here. I've got the others here as well. I've got Adolf by my side. Yes, lineman, Adolf Hitler. Adolf, now's not the time. It's Banter Wars time. Karl Marx, come in. He's got his communist manifesto. He's going to unleash the pain upon Pottington. No, he's running out of time. Marx, get in there fast. I cannot do it. I cannot get in there fast enough. No, you are useless, Karl. Useless Germans. Well, you're Austrian, Adolf. That's probably why you're so freaking useless. Anyway, the hands of hell have failed again. I'm very, very disappointed. At least you got my gun. Screw that robot. I hope Billy Bob Joe cries. I'll see him someday in the near future. Once you fall into the pits of hell. See you soon.
Whew! Now that we're back from the pits of hell, we can leave Satan to his dirty dealings. Meanwhile, Mygon, a pathetic performance. You are out of the competition. Billy Bob Joe joins the Vice President on the loser's sofa.
Joe. I think it's Joe.
Billy Bob Joe!
Okay.
Go!
You seem to have lost in the hands of hell.
I'm so saying that I was lost. I'm scared. Them hands of hell are sure scary.
What do you think brought on the hands of hell?
Well, my brother Billy Bob Bill says that it was Obama. You gotta get... Obama's scary. Because he makes all the... I mean, I know he's not president no more, but he's working behind the scenes, you see. He's making all the things... I don't know, Billy Bob Bill just scares me. He tells me these stories.
Okay, thanks very much. On to the next round.
4 robots have returned from the pits of hell, and 1 has stayed below for eternity. That means that we've now got semi-finals to get into. 4 competitors will go down to 2 in some of the most brutal action you'll have ever seen on television. Let's get into those semi-finals right now.
Just applied my after sun after my trip to hell. Now we go into the Heat semi-finals. Vying for that place, that last place in the series grand final. It's Pottington versus Pine Peril, the 2 spinners. This could be fun. There's Pottington with the horizontal spinning weapon, his prized moustache. And it's up against the Pine Peril vertical spinner. Woodchopper against Mustache. Which will win? Well, my bets are on the larger robot Pine Peril. Much larger in size, could possibly turn Bottington over, and it seems to have the upper hand so far. But look at the pace at which that Mustache spins. Can it get past that disc though? Bottington is damaged. It's more defenceless. It hasn't got the shield that Pine Peril has, and it's been pushed into the ZBZ, which is where the Observer Bot can come in and tip it over. Seems the Pine Peril certainly on top at this stage of the battle. Oh dear, Bottington, how are you going to get out of this situation? You can't make any more deals with Satan. Oh dear, spinning away now though. Pine Peril most certainly on top in this battle. Now pushing Bottington towards the pit. If he can just shove it in there, it will be battle over. But it's just missed. It's against the arena sidewall now. Nevertheless, Bottington has got a lot to do. A mountain to climb to come back to victory. Spinning upside down. I'm not sure if that counts as mobility. Pine Peril is playing with it now. Look at the scratches on the underside of Bottington. It can't have much longer left. Pushed into the CPZ again, where the Observer Bot wants to play to get underneath Bottington and perhaps launch out of the arena, perhaps throw it across, maybe put it in the pit. We're nearly out of time. Nevertheless, Bottington is immobilised. Pine Peril will progress to the Heat Grand Final. Bottington, a poor show, did little damage, if any at all. Pine Peril, a worthy winner, and will go on to face the next challenger. A brilliant performance, and really is quite a dangerous machine, one to watch out for. Wallington Bolton joins the Vice President.
I'm now joined by Sir Wallington Bollington.
Yeah. That's it. The robot get the hole in the ground and it went down. And the robot it made money. And money it was important to make the tables, isn't it? They make tables, isn't it? And we got it that we put the robot on the table and the people that fall in the holes in the ground. And it'll go boom, boom. The girl is up the ground. There's because the standard there. And the money will
Okay, thank you very much.
well, that's the understand when the table to put things on top of it. Well,
Okay, these posh people seem to have some sort of table thing going on. I don't know.
it was there.
Goodbye. I think that was goodbye.
Well, on to the next Heat semi-final then, assuming he's finally gone. The reigning champion, an ordinary robot Blimey 4 against the Wizard of Banter. One that Satan really disliked, apparently. There it is, the gleaming masterpiece. Satan's own creation. He loves it. He's so happy he made it. It's up against the Wizard of Banter. Not quite so well renowned. What can it do against the reigning champion? In we go. And in with pace comes an ordinary robot. You see those little axes coming out from the side. They can be quite dangerous. Now this is a shocking turn of events, really. An ordinary robot can't get under that defensive rim around the Wizard of Banter, those locks of hair. So Observerbot comes in and helps him out. Well, the battle wasn't going anywhere. It's all well and good stopping an ordinary robot from attacking, but if you're not going to do anything yourself, You get everything that comes to you. Now the Wizard of Banter in the CPZ. Your defences didn't last long. Now the Observer Bot is stuck on the threads of hair. Observer Bot pushing the Wizard of Banter, but can't flip it because of its large shell. It's quite a good defence against an ordinary robot, really, but not when it comes to the pits, which they are very close to. Yeah, I will say, good job on the Wizard of Banter and finding something that blocks off an ordinary robot, but the pit beckons, and you're going in, Wizard. But even then, it's too big for the pit. What are you going to do here, Observer Bot? This is very difficult. You're going in as well. How's this turned out? They're all in. They're all in the pit. I've got to say for the Wizard of Banter, it's got the ultimate an ordinary robot defeater, but it just, in the end, it went into the pit eventually. An ordinary robot makes it through, but might count itself a bit fortunate actually. The Wizard of Banter joins the Vice President in the loser's seat. Could be proud of itself really.
So your mystical ways, Wizard of Banter, didn't seem to work today.
No, not at all. I think my robot did very poorly, and that lacks banter. I give it 2 banter fingers, yes, 2.
As many as that?
I'm being generous. My robot, you see, it's full of banter. Always banter. I cast a spell. A banter spell, you know.
Okay. On to the next round, where we meet more weirdos.
Oh!
An ordinary robot looks almost certain to book its place in the series grand final, but it has got that one competitor left to beat, and Pine Peril will look to cause some peril for everybody's favourite champion. Can it do so? We're going to the Heap final.
You're absolutely right. An ordinary robot will be the firm favourite here, but Pine Peril did very well against Botterton and the Hands of Hell. It could spring a surprise here today. Is this the Prime Minister's first robot into the grand final? He's entered 6 robots into this competition, and this is his last chance to get into the grand final. An ordinary robot, blimey, could be that robot, but it's up against the Pine Peril, which has shown itself to not be a pushover at all. But can it self-right? That's the big question. Here we go. For the last place in the grand final, it's an ordinary robot and Pine Peril, and immediately an ordinary robot asserts its dominance on the opposition, throwing Pine Peril upside down. It cannot self-right. This could be an early end to what has been a gallant entry into the competition. Upside down again, and close to the arena wall. It's close to going over. Surely, any minute now. And the Prime Minister will finally have a robot in the grand final. It's going. It's going. Surely. It's toppled on the edge. It's come back in. The Pine Peril has brought itself back in from outside of the arena. I don't think we've ever seen that before in Banter Wars history. Nevertheless, it's still under pressure. Can it spring the mightiest of unlikely comebacks? It doesn't look likely. Close towards the pit, and an ordinary robot with its new tactic of throwing things into the pit finishes the job in style. I've got to say one thing for the Pine Peril: it knows how to avoid defeat. Crawled itself back into the arena after being launched out of it. Great show from an ordinary robot, blimey though. Prime Minister's finally into the grand final, and I think it's going to be really, really difficult to beat. Great stuff from Pine Peril though, really good competitor. Shame to see it go, but the Prime Minister must progress. Congratulations, Prime Minister, you've finally done it. You're in the grand final.
So I'm joined by, I think it's Billy Bob Jim.
Billy Bob Jim.
How do you feel about losing this match?
I don't feel too disappointed, because it's my brother, Billy Bob Bill, always used to say, it taking part that counts as long as you shoot them damn commies.
Okay, there you have it. Shoot the commies.
shoot the comet. That's what my brother he tells me. Was that it for the interview? Do I have to go now?
Please, you can leave.
Well, okay, bye. I'll see you next time, sir. See you next.
What did I tell you?
So you managed to get one of your 6 robots into the grand final.
And the champion, an ordinary robot. It is the best robot ever created. Satan helped me make it.
Do you think you will beat other robots which have made it through?
Of course I will. I've rigged the competition, mate. You don't know this.
Well, the other robots have seemed to have beaten your other robot, so...
Ah, but that was all part of my master plan.
Master plan.
My master plan. To retain this thing. You see that name on the back there?
No, I can't from this angle.
AOR3. Next one's going to be AOR4.
Good, you can count.
Who needs counting anyway? I've got this! Banter Wars trophy. Banter Wars. Nobody's going to get this off of me.
I'm sure we can rely on somebody to win other than this idiot. We'll see you in the final.
What did you call me?
We'll see you in the final.
Bye.
There we have it, our 6 competitors in to the grand final of Banter Wars for the Banter. Join me next week when we'll find out who truly is the champion of Banter Wars, the greatest robot to have ever graced the stage. It's going to be good, and you'd better be there. I'll be there, and so will the Vice President. So join us next week for the ultimate in banter. See you then.